Welcome to another episode of the Beginner Series.
Yes, I'm so excited. I want to play my first games with Nilfgaard and I'm so hyped.
Play? Sure. Win? Well, let's get started. This is your Nilfgaard starter deck.
Wow, so I can learn how to play Nilfgaard with this deck? I can win games, bamboozle my opponent?
You know, that's not really it. The deck is not that good, and...
But I don't have any other cards or decks. And you promised to teach me how to play. I want to play Nilfgaard, and I want to play it now.
Okay, I'll explain the starter deck to you then. We'll have a look at it and how we can improve it later in the video as well. This starter deck introduces you to Assimilate. It tries really hard, it does an okay job, and we'll explain how to make it better because, as you know from our previous videos, Assimilate can be a really powerful archetype. And if you haven't watched our previous videos, now would be a great time.
No, I remember. This means that the card boosts when I play a card that wasn't in my deck to start with.
Exactly, you got it. So the foundation of your deck is to get your Assimilate engines out. Those are all the cards basically with the keyword. There are two specifically though I want to highlight. First off, we have Arturius Vigo. Vigo will give you plenty of bronze options to choose from in this deck. In the future, you may want to consider limiting the bronze unit you play so that Vigo can more consistently allow you to see the cards you're interested in. For example, if you only play 3 bronze units, your options from Vigo are guaranteed.
So I will want to get another Assimilate card by playing him.
Oh, you can do that for sure. But Duchess's Informants may also be a good option as she'll allow you to spawn another unit, one from your opponent's side of the board, and therefore you can gain double points from all your Assimilate cards. Glynis is your strongest Assimilate engine because based on her keyword, she will boost by 2 points instead of just 1 when you play a card that did not start in your deck. You may want to hang on to her for a specific situation where there is a smaller chance of her being removed or locked.
Enough with the theory. Can't we just play a game now?
We can, just don't expect much, okay? So your general game plan is to thin as much as you can in round 1 and start some of your Assimilate engine. Here you can see I'm playing my first Assimilate bronze.
Well, your opponent seems to have different plans.
Well, let's lock that card before they make any use of it. Once you have a soldier on the board, make sure you play the Impera Brigade to thin.
I don't really get it. Why is it good to take cards out of my deck?
Thinning basically increases the chances of you drawing good cards later on. But also, in this case, it allows you to get your points out quicker.
I see, but so we're still just playing bronze cards?
You were saying? Yes, just add more engines, and our opponent passed on us. That's fine, we already have 3 Assimilate engines on the board, and we can easily copy a unit using the Informant. That gives us enough points to win round 1. Now remember, if you end round 1 with 4 cards and draw past your opponent in round 2, you still get 10 cards for round 3.
So what if I lose round 1?
We'll talk about that in another video, okay? Dry Pass is your best option with this deck because your Assimilate engines are better the longer they are on the board. Now let's try to make sure you have good cards for round 3, especially Glynis and Vigo, as they are very important to gaining more Assimilate points.
And now we crush them in the last round.
That's the spirit.
We crush them by playing more bronze Assimilate soldiers?
Exactly. So just like in round 1, your goal is to put down your Assimilate engines early and lock any cards that might be important for your opponent. Once you can't play any more Assimilate engines, then you start getting your points. For that, you use things like Summoning Circle, Experimental Remedy, and all the other cards that provide you additional cards that weren't initially part of your deck.
But the new cards don't really work well with the rest of my cards on the board.
Yeah, don't worry too much about that. Try and pick a card that gives you the most points, but really any card that's not from your deck that will trigger Assimilate will give you a lot of value.
That last card they played, that was a lot of points.
It hurts me to say that, but I'm truly happy we have Geralt in this deck. In the future, Yennefer's Invocation would work just fine too.
We won! Great, and with so many points. Let me try.
later. There's something we need to talk about first. So now that we've actually played a game with the starter deck, could we please talk about how to make it actually better?
Ooh, I liked it, especially the part when we locked opponent's important card. Ha!
Ugh, wait until you play against Nilfgaard then. There are some cards you should definitely consider crafting if you're thinking about playing Nilfgaard more. I'll show you 2 examples, but there are many more cited in our article linked down below. So the first card is Yennefer's Invocation. This is basically Nilfgaard's in-house version of Karathi Heatwave, except it's cheaper and works in devotion decks.
But it cannot destroy artifacts, right?
No, it won't destroy artifacts, but I promise it will ruin your opponent's day. It is an instant, unconditional removal that makes it extremely valuable. For better or for worse, Yenbo will remove the card and place it on top of your deck so it can be drawn or tutored. Now, quite often you'll actually see Yenbo saved as the last card and last say, simply because it will steal your opponent's card with the most points.
That's pretty expensive card to craft. Is there anything cheaper I can craft sooner?
Oh yeah, sure. Nilfgaard has some good bronzes as well. Nausicaa Sergeant is a solid one because many Nilfgaard cards have a deploy effect, or even cause 2 or 3 deploys per turn by creating new cards.
Can't wait to use the new cards. So I just put them all to my starter deck, right?
Well, there's definitely some cards you want to remove from your starter deck. Vanilla Geralt. Despite the fact that he has won us our game that you just watched, oftentimes because he does have a specific condition, he has the opportunity to brick, where something like Yenbo can absolutely answer a card almost guaranteed. So will you finally let me tell you how to improve the starter deck?
I don't see why you didn't like that one.
The deck I have for you is definitely off meta, but should be easy for you to upgrade from the starter deck.
How much better can it get? It was already exciting, and we were getting all the points from the engines.
I'm glad you're having fun, but we can definitely make improvements. If you had fun with that other list, wait till I show you this. So the starter deck has a few main issues. You need to get engines out quicker, and you need to make them less vulnerable. You also need the opportunity to get more points from Assimilate. The first card you would like to add would be Portal, followed by Joachim, Location, and Cantarella. All of these would cost you 1,400 scraps.
So you're saying I can just add a few of these and not make the whole deck different?
Exactly. I mean, you don't need to necessarily directly copy this deck. You can experiment with the cards to see what fits your playstyle. Remember, to try and build your own is a big part of the fun of a collectible card game like Gwent. Now, these improvements will help you a lot, especially with tempo. Portal summons your bronzes, Joachim can make them harder to remove, and you can actually replay Joachim by using Location to put it on top of your opponent's deck and then playing Cantarella.
Okay, but I remember you said that this is not really the most popular deck. What can I play if I get bored with this?
Although we at Bandit Gang like our memes, we also understand this. We do have a full-on meta Nilfgaard made just for you in the article below. Moreover, there'll be one more video about Nilfgaard archetypes, so if you've enjoyed playing Nilfgaard so far, we'll show you what other types of decks you can play using this faction.
And we're doing another giveaway for a subscription to the Bandit Gang YouTube channel, and the winner is... Oh, exciting! Woo! The winner is... It's you! Woohoo! You just activated subscription down below. Congrats!